Good day, Chief Coffee Chats. Got my coffee. Today I know what I want to talk about because I've been binge watching a couple individuals that I haven't been watching for a couple months or a few months. And I just wanted to see if they changed their tune, so to speak. I'm not going to mention them. I'm not going to call them out. Because I don't want to get hate thrown at me. They're making fun of women of a certain age who can't seem to find men of a certain age to marry. And a lot of these women are afraid that they are going to grow up and have a passel full of cats, and that's what these individuals joke about. Now, it's true. American men are getting tired of American females. And I see that over the years that I was in the military, and I've been traveling for the last 12 years, going over to Ukraine a lot, and now our Western values are seeping in, even though a war is going on, because over the period of time when I first started, the dress was more European, and now with the Western influence and on the younger kids, they're dressing like kids or younger adults in America. Now, these two men also say, don't get married, don't have kids, and don't lose half your stuff in a crazy divorce. And then they talk about how, like I said, all these women are going to grow up and have a house full of cats because they turned down the men in their youth. And now they can't find the good men because the men their age are now dating those 20-year-olds that they were when they were fooling around and racking up their body count. It's rather disgusting to listen to some of these women and their body count. And like they pointed out today, I mean, at least the videos I've been watching over the last several days, the women are cursing a heck of a lot more. I made a comment about cursing couple of years ago on a different site. I was a gaming site, and I got called out because, well, that's the way the people our age talk. No, it ain't the way your people your age talk. You still got to respect people, and respecting people is talking without cursing. You're just showing your IQ points as far as I am concerned. So getting back to this topic, these two guys, one of them was married and went through a divorce. I don't know if it was nasty or not. And he's the one that's got, from what he has said, loving parents that are now elderly, and he's taking care of them. So he's got a good foundation. He just didn't find the right woman. The other guy I've been watching claims he's never going to get married. Famous last words out of Bachelors. I don't know how many Bachelors I know that, oh, you're married now. Yeah, I finally found a woman. But I think the second guy is going to have trouble because he may go out one night and find that girl that rocks his world, and then when he has to reveal what he does for a living, she may break his heart and say, I can't live with you if you don't want to get married and you spout this stuff. And then he may feel bad. Now, some of you might say, well, Chief, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yes, I do. 2 divorces. I love that scene with Richard Crenna in, I don't know if it was, I think it was the original Hot Shots, or it could have been Hot Shots Part 2, where they have Richard Crenna. He's tied up to the bed springs, and they're trying to electrocute him, and it's not working. And the terrorists, or whatever they are in the movie, they look at him, we're cranking this crank, but you're not getting electrocuted. And he goes, I've been divorced. Twice. That's me. I've been divorced twice, so maybe that electricity wouldn't hurt me either. My first marriage, years later, I'm so thankful she did that. We were growing apart, even though we had 2 kids. But I lost all my stuff, and I lost a greater share of my childhood stuff. some of it she abandoned in the house she left, and other stuff she gave me along with the rest of the stuff that she took from our marriage that she didn't want. But of course I had to drive several states to go retrieve it, and thank God I had the best parents in the world to help me with that. And then my second divorce is hilarious because she wanted to go over the fence because the grass was greener on the other side of the fence. And she got upset because we had to be residents in Hawaii. We were both military. And we had to be residents in Hawaii before she could even file. So she was agreeing to anything and everything. We had a clean divorce, but we had a hellacious child custody fight, but that has nothing to do with it. I won. So I lost my first two kids because I had to take it in the shorts, so to speak, because my options were, well, young soldier. Well, I wasn't even a soldier yet. I was an AITer. Well, young AITer, you can go do this trial and get out of the military, or you can just accept what you get and stay in the military. So I did. So I paid child support. I received child support. And I had to pay child support again. I eventually lost custody of my younger two, but only like the last 2 or 3 years to pay child support. But state of Texas is 25% of your salary for the first child, and I don't remember what the percentage was for the second. And no ifs, ands, or buts or arguments to lower that. So my second wife basically got every single penny she paid me, probably about 2 or 3 times over, because after a couple years of paying me child support, she quit work. Even though my kids tell me, oh, she was working every now and then, but of course you'd have to find that out and to go back to the court to demand the money. And by the time I would have done that process, it would have cost me more money than I was probably going to get. But the state of Hawaii says, well, even if you're not working, you still have to pay $50 per child per month. So $100. That's not, back then that was a 1 week's shopping. Going to the grocery store and buying groceries. That's all that $100 was. So that child support money was going for child support so they could eat. But I'm just upset with these individuals, and now that I've been binge watching and with some of the newer content, they are actually bringing other guys, or one guy is actually bringing other guys to his video, and they're commenting and they're saying the same thing. Okay, so their advice is men don't get married. Don't marry these crazy women. Don't marry at all. Don't have kids. And don't lose half your stuff. What's that going to do to the world population? I love my grandkids. I got 4 of them. Granted, I don't see them as much as I would like to. That's not really my fault. They're all in school. So it's like if I visit during the school year, it'd be like, oh, you're going to school. Oh, you're back from school. Oh, it's time to eat dinner. Oh, it's time to do your homework. And oh, now it's bath time and bedtime. That ain't the way I want to see my grandkids, so to speak. But they make fun of the women because they say these women are going to end up with cats. Okay. But they never say what's going to happen to the men. The men are going to be fine and happy with their dogs or dog. What if you're allergic to a dog and or a cat? I have been single and a single parent for most of my adult life. I've been single for 30 years. It sucks. It sucks. I'm pushing 70. It sucks. I'm just as upset as those women are. I tried to find a new wife, but like they're bringing out, some of the American women are bringing baggage. I had fellow soldiers. I had a soldier tell me, you'd be great to, my mom, my mom and you would be a great mix. And I looked at him, I said, I really don't want to be your new father. And he jokingly said, don't worry about that. I already have a father. I said, I was just joking. He says, I understand. But I had that through my career. And every woman I talked to always had kids. Always had kids that were in trouble. And mostly boys. They wouldn't talk about their daughters. And then my mom tried to hook me up with the caretaker of my father in the nursing home. She had 5 kids. All by the same man, which kind of surprised me. But he kind of fell out of love. Fell out of wanting to be a father. What an idiot. Raising or procreating 5 kids and then saying, I don't want to do it no more. But he didn't find a younger woman. He wasn't that kind of man. He just didn't want responsibilities anymore, from what I understand. I really didn't go into it. But there was no way I was going to take in 5 kids, and one of those was the oldest was a daughter. She was about 14 at the time, and then a year after my mother tried to set me up with this woman, her daughter was giving birth at the age of 15. Just a headache I don't need. So it's kind of hard to find women your age that aren't with kids like these men talk about in these videos. It really is. Even in my late 30s, my 40s, my 50s, I looked at women my age, and some of them looked pretty rough. Looked like life was not kind to them, and some of them looked like they got dragged behind a truck. It's like, you're how old? You look older than me. Yes, I'm pushing 70. I don't look 70. Good living, good genes. Talk about those later, maybe in another video. But I'm just upset with these individuals because their solution, like I said, don't get married, don't have kids, don't lose half your stuff. And I have talked to several bachelors my age, younger than me, and even in the younger years, or about 10 years ago, I talked to these guys. And a lot of these guys, they're lonely too. They don't do the bar scene. They have trouble meeting women. And every one of them expressed that at one time or another, and maybe even several times or another, they wanted to bite the bullet and end their lives. I've done the same. Oh, Chief, you shouldn't admit that. I've been lonely. And that's why I have an Eastern girl. I have a Slavic girl. I can't wait for the war to end so I can go get her and bring her here. And yes, she is younger. And yes, she wants children. Chief, you're dating, and these guys don't like dating outside your age range. They all think that you should marry at the same age. But according to my mother and according to me, love has no age. So that's all I'm going to talk about. Me, I like being married. Did it twice. I'm doing it a 3rd time. I hope I have a passel of kids. I always wanted 100 kids. My mother used to jokingly say, where are you going to find a woman to have that many? And as a child, I would say, I don't know. It'll just happen. So this is the 3rd session. I hope you kind of sort of agree with me because, I mean, yeah, these guys are talking about a bad subject, but they don't have a permanent solution. And in the military, Chief, if you're going to argue about something, present your argument and have a solution. These guys, their only solution is don't involve yourself. And one of them, I think he jokingly says that, yeah, go for it, have your jollies, no commitments. That ain't the way to live either. So, this is it for this Chief Coffee Chats. Yes, I did that on purpose, the CCC. So, freedom's not free. You know what to do with vets. Thank you.